These are some pretty outrageous statements I'm making, but I believe them wholeheartedly now. I know there are other videos I've made that talk about the addictive personality and urges and drug addictions and stuff. But as I grow and as I learn and as I explore these things in myself and in the information that I look into, my mindset and understanding of things adapts and changes. And that's why I'm going to leave those other videos up so people can see that you can evolve, you can change as time goes on. And I'm not embarrassed about this. I'm quite proud of the fact that where I've gotten to. But anyway, pretty much none of these things exist. There is no drug addiction, there's no urges, there's no addictive personality. There's simply just choice. Every single time that you pick up a drink and take a sip, you're making a choice. Every single time that you've ever done any drug, you're choosing. To believe in urges and an addictive personality and addiction would mean that there's no choice involved, that there's some kind of fundamental aspect to you that's causing these issues in your life. But you're choosing it. The key here is to look at why you're choosing it, what it is that you're choosing. The only reason that we choose something is because we believe it has a benefit. It brings benefit, it brings happiness, peace, pleasure, whatever it is. Most of, if not all of what drugs bring is an illusion. We just interpret certain sensations in the body as pleasurable, but it's really just an imbalance caused by the body being poisoned. If we think we're in withdrawal and we feel better when we take the drug, this is true because the body's trying to compensate for the drug's existence. The body's using a ton of resources in order to remove this dangerous drug so it doesn't die. We then go into a depleted state, otherwise known as withdrawal, so we take the drug again. We think that we have urges to do this, or we think that we have an addiction, but we're still making a choice. We're making a choice because we believe the only way to feel happy in the moment is to take more of this thing. We think it provides any benefit whatsoever, but they simply do not. I lived for most of my life thinking this. I thought drugs were a pleasure, a benefit in some way. But I look back and I can see that they never brought anything to me. I even, in some sense, knew it. I knew that I would be doing whatever drugs, and I didn't even know why. I couldn't even understand because most of the stuff it brought to me was shit. It was ruining my life and health and everything, taking away everything, finances, health, future, relationships, whatever. Yet I kept doing it because I had some kind of subtle belief that it brought something to me. And we're trained this way from a young age. Because look at our parents drinking coffee and alcohol, marijuana's everywhere. Everyone does drugs. So we think that it must bring something to us. Even if we don't like it, a lot of people will still keep doing it. We get habituated to it. You think you get an urge to do the drug, but again, you're just getting it because it's just you're preferring to do drugs. You're wanting to do them. And this isn't fundamentally wrong or bad. Humans have done this for millennia, right? It's just part of human nature where we're naturally adventure seeking. We're naturally inquisitive and interested in things and altering our consciousness. You look at history and it's rife through history. So if you want to do it, fine. But if you want to stop, it's possible. You can stop and there will be no withdrawals. There will be no urges. You will just be proud of what you've done, and you will get on with your life and you'll forget about it. This can happen because I've been through it multiple times. Once you see that there's no more benefit in taking these drugs, that the only benefit to be derived is from living your life without them, you will drop them in a second. But you need to see this, which is key. The way that I did it is I would actually write down lists. This is what drugs bring me. This is what life brings me. A lot of my motivation is that the only way that I'm going to have a chance at even having a remotely happy and good life, in many ways, success, relationships, health, all that stuff, is if I never do a drug again. Because these simply just, I'm not able to pursue happiness as well as drug use. They're just incompatible. So the only chance that I get is to not do them. There is nothing to be found in drugs, everything to be found in life. This is kind of a key, and maybe gives you some ideas on the way you can think to stop this nonsense. Once you crack this code, you will drop all the addictions immediately and not look back. It can be scary. I remember when it first happened for me and I realized all this stuff, pretty much everything just dropped in a second, and I was scared. It created this feeling of fear, which was, wow, like, what do I do now? It was very strange, very powerful, but it was instant and I had no more cravings. I can see now that cravings was just my preferences, just my want to do them coming up. This applies to everything, behaviors like binge eating and addictive behaviors like masturbation and watching porn, and as well as drugs, of course. Any addictive thing can be seen in this way. Some easier than others, it's up to you. You just have to see through the illusion of them. Thanks, guys.